This wind has been gusting like 35, 40 miles an hour. That's a big one. That's a good one. I'm gonna real quick do some maneuvers, show you the turning capabilities. The battery that I use is an AutoCraft. All right, when you get the Kayak, okay, the remote control is already paired with the motor. The number one question I get is, how long does the battery last? I've owned 4 Old Town kayaks. This one. Hey fishing friend, JC here with Rad Reeling Fishing. In this video, I'm taking out my Old Town Sportsman AutoPilot 120. We're gonna do an on-the-water fishing review. It's got a 45-pound thrust, Minn Kota electric trolling motor, spot lock technology, iPilot, the whole bells and whistles, you guys. This kayak is loaded with everything a fisherman needs to have a successful fishing adventure. We're going to be talking about stability. We're going to talk about batteries and battery life. I'm going to be going over remote control functions. I'm going to be doing a lot of things in this kayak today. This is going to be an awesome review, so stick around. All right, guys, right out of the gate, the battery that I use is an AutoCraft. I got it at Advanced Auto Parts. It's a Marine RV Pro 105 amp hour lead acid battery. All right, guys, I've got this kayak decked out today so you can get a look at all the different features on the kayak. We've got the forward-facing rod holders here. We've got gear tracks on both sides. I got my GoPro boom on there. I've got my fish finder hooked up. I've got my knife in here, my ruler. I've got needle nose pliers in that compartment. I've got fishing line on the other side. Let's come around over here to this side. Over here by the seat, you guys, I've got my aerator in here, my extra GoPro batteries. I've got my complimentary tackle tray. That's got my registration in there and some other important things that I want to keep dry when I'm out here fishing. I've got rods and my back rod holders, and look at this tank well. This thing is just gigantic. Look at all the stuff it'll hold back here. This kayak's got a lot of great features. This dry box area right here is one of my favorites. My keys go in first, my wallet goes in next, and I put my phone in there so it faces up, so I can just push the button. I can see what time it is without even taking the phone out of there. Get that closed up, nice and airtight. So I want to show you inside this front hull. My battery for the fish finder, I just lay it down in the bottom of the hull. There's a V area down there and a little hump. It just wedges it right in place. It's not going to move around. That's going to work out fine. I always like to demonstrate how stable this kayak is. Generally, I put one hand here, I take my foot, I put it in the kayak here, and then I just push off with my other foot that's in the water, lift up, and step in the kayak. It's that simple, super stable. Don't have to worry about this thing flipping or tipping over. So if you're fortunate enough to have a dock, it's easy to get into your kayak. This thing is so stable. I am way out here. I'm like over my knees right now. A little tricky. You got to hike up your shorts, right? I'm going to step one foot in the kayak like that. I'm going to reach over. I'm going to grab that handle. I'm just going to pull myself up and I'm going to slide into the seats. Here we go. All right, guys, I always like to demonstrate what it's like to throw a cast net out of an Old Town kayak. This thing is really stable, but you can see here there is plenty of room up here. I've got my bucket and my cast net. Let's get this thing loaded. Plenty of room up here to get a 5 or 6 or even 8 foot cast net loaded up. Make sure it's not tangled. Pay particular attention to the kayak and how much it doesn't rock. All right, guys, I got rain coming. I'm gonna real quick do some maneuvers, show you the turning capabilities of this kayak. Then we're gonna get under the bridge and do some fishing. I've owned 4 Old Town kayaks. This one maneuvers the best of all of them. Let's run for shelter. Look at the waves coming across there. Yeah, I mean, this wind has been gusting like 35, 40 miles an hour for the past couple days. So it is raining all out in that area. Spot lock's got me spot locked perfect right here. I am high and dry, baby. Yeah, I'm telling you, I love this kayak. I mean, I could have picked a better day to do an on the water fishing review, right? But this is awesome. I mean, conditions are terrible. I rushed over here to the bridge. The wind's blowing like crazy, and you guys get to see just how awesome this spot lock technology is. It is just keeping me anchored right here in my fishing hole, and I am high and dry, baby. Heck yeah. There we go. Whoa, baby, good fish. Good fish. Yeah, we got a fighter here. Woo, we got a fighter. Doggone. Red grouper. Nice red grouper, man. See ya. So guys, there's so much room in this kayak. I've got the bait bucket right in front of me. I got my forward facing rod holder here, and it just makes it so easy when you're fishing. Everything in this kayak is within an arm's reach. I've got my spool of line right here. My knife is right here. My tape measure's right here. It's just, you know, it's just a matter of leaning over a little bit and you're there. Love the way this kayak is laid out. It has everything in place that I need for fishing. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a snapper there. That's a snapper, baby. That is a big snapper. Big old hog mama snapper right there. That is a tank. That is a tank. Big fish, man. Big fish. Get in here. Oh, big old fat red grouper. Woo! So guys, the wind is blowing like crazy. The spot lock's keeping me safe from the rain, and I am catching fish under the bridge. Thanks, buddy. See ya. Is when I was over there in that span, the spot lock kept me positioned for 2 hours, high and dry out of the rain. Anyway, I have moved to a different span. It is still sprinkling. As soon as it stops raining, I'm gonna take it out there and show you guys some more stuff about this kayak. But for now, I got a different span. I'm gonna see if I can catch some keeper mangrove snapper here. There we go. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. That's a big one. That's a good one. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a big red grouper, man. Big old red group. No, big gag. Wow, look at the size of that gag. Woo! Heck yes. Thanks, buddy. All right, all right, all right. It quit raining, you guys. I got away from the bridge so that you can hear me a little bit better. The number one question I get is, how long does the battery last? What's the battery life, right? Well, I have a 105 amp hour lead acid battery. I fished from 9 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. That's 10 hours. I fished 10 hours. It took me about 20 minutes to get to my fishing spot, right? On this remote, you've got 10 speeds on the remote. So I was probably cruising to my fishing spot, you know, anywhere from level 5 to 10 to get there. It took me 20 minutes to get there. I fished for, like, I was out on the water 10 hours, spot locking all over. I was fishing in a canal, fishing around docks, fishing around seawalls. I fished 10 hours. And right up here, you've got a battery tester. The battery tester has a total of 4 bars. It registered 3 bars after fishing for 10 hours, so I had only used 1/4 of my battery power. All right, so I want to talk about this remote control a little bit, some of the different features that are on here. So on this remote right now, I've got it spot locked. In order to spot lock, you just press the anchor. Okay, to unspot lock it, you press the anchor again. These are the power level controls, 1 to 10 for your speed on the kayak. And these are your left and right buttons. Now this middle one right here, that one disengages the prop, okay? I like to call that one my panic button, because here's what happens. You just don't want to get in a hurry when you're out here operating this remote control, because inevitably you're gonna hit the wrong button, right? Instead of hitting the turn button, you're gonna hit the power button and the kayak's gonna take off. So the panic button, you just hit that button right there, it disengages the prop. So here's why that's really important, okay? So right now I'm spot locked, okay? If I was on level 10 coming to this spot, okay, if I was on full power coming to the spot and I hit spot lock, whenever I undo spot lock and I re-engage the prop, that motor is going to take off on level 10 again. Okay, so here's what happened. Let me just show you guys. When this thing is on level 10, I'm going to turn the motor to the right. I'm going to engage the prop and watch how fast this thing turns. You'll really be able to see it with the seawall being here. That right there is just flat out dangerous. Oh, I'm getting ready to lose a rod. That right there is just flat out dangerous. So that's why that disengage prop button right there, the panic button, that's why that's so important. So another feature we've got on this remote is this N right here. It's got the little arrow. That's for the autopilot. Okay, all right guys, so what I'm doing right now is I'm getting the kayak headed straight over there towards that white boat. Okay, I'm going to hit the navigation button. We're going to pump the power up. Okay, and what that did is it just locked onto a compass setting, and it's running me straight over there to that boat. Okay, and it's telling me that it's on a 45-degree heading right now, and it's running on autopilot. It's taking me right there. It's doing pretty good. So the way the autopilot works, okay, is when you press that in for autopilot, it locks the motor in on a compass setting. Okay, so if I locked it in on that boat over there, it would start heading towards that boat. But if the current and the wind are pushing this way, it will push you off course. Okay, so even though your motor will be pointed in that direction, your kayak might be moving that way and actually end up over there, but your motor will still be pointed in that direction towards the boat. This remote control has two settings. It has autopilot, and then it has advanced autopilot. Now, advanced autopilot will keep you on the compass setting that you set. It will make the corrections, and your kayak will actually stay. If you're on a 220 compass setting, it will actually stay on a 220 compass setting. But here's the thing, there's an additional part that has to be purchased in order for this Minn Kota trolling motor to work in the advanced autopilot. It's a little bitty hockey puck thing. All right, it's called a heading sensor. It's a little hockey puck thing that installs in the back of the kayak, okay? And so it pairs with the Minn Kota motor. That way, if the wind and the current are pushing you off course, when you have that additional part, you need that part if you want to stay like on an exact compass setting, okay? Otherwise, the wind and the current when you're on autopilot are going to affect the direction of your kayak. All right, there's another feature that you would need the heading sensor for, and that's called spot lock jog. So what that means is that when you're in the spot lock mode, right, you could be in spot lock sitting in this position, but if you wanted to just move over 5 feet and stay spot locked 5 feet over, that's the spot lock jog feature. And I think you have to just push like the left button a couple of times or the right button, but it won't work without having that additional heading sensor. So while I'm just cruising around out here, I want to talk about the spot lock feature because it's great for anchoring on a fishing location, right? But here's the other thing it's great for. If you're just traveling to a destination, all of a sudden you get a phone call and you want to talk on the phone without moving, all you do is you hit spot lock, right? Or, you know, if you're traveling to a destination, you decide, hey, you know what? I just want to stop right here and rig up my fishing poles, or I want to eat some lunch or whatever. You just hit the spot lock feature and it stops you. I mean, it's a game changer, man. It's an absolute game changer. The other day I lost my bait bucket. I don't know if you saw that video. I had to take off and go and try and find my bait bucket, and I finally found it. I was on level 10 and I was just blasting on level 10 going really fast, and I saw it and I immediately just hit spot lock, and it stopped the kayak right where the bait bucket was at. Just spot locked me right there. So yeah, spot lock is just an incredible feature, you guys. I love this kayak. I'm telling you, It is a game changer. It is so easy to fish out of. It is easy to fish docks. It's easy to just spot lock on a bottom fishing location, and everything in this kayak is within like an arm's reach. It's super stable. It's just top notch, man. It is just top freaking notch. So the highest speed I've had this kayak up to was about 4.3 miles an hour. I was going with the current, and I didn't have a very heavy load, but we're gonna go ahead and do a speed test here. I've got this thing loaded down. The wind is blowing that way, so we're gonna go ahead and run with the wind. We're gonna kick this thing up to level 10. See how fast we go. The remote control will tell us how fast we're going. 3.5 miles an hour with a full load. But like I said, I got this thing up to like 4.3 miles an hour when I was going with the current. Right here in this area where I'm at, there's no current. So love this kayak, man. Just absolutely love this kayak. This thing is so awesome. A couple more things about this remote. Whenever you are spot locked in a location for a very long time, this remote will automatically sleep. The screen will go blank. Then all you have to do is hit the check mark. It'll come back on. You hit the check mark again, and it'll show that you're spot locked. All right, when you get the kayak, okay, the remote control is already paired with the motor. You don't have to do anything. So you've got two manuals. You've got the 2-page quick manual that shows you how to use the different functions on the remote, right? But then but then there's an 86-page PDF manual that you can download that talks about the Minn Kota motor and the remote control, all of the advanced functions that come along with the remote control, and also advanced things of how to pair the motor with a remote control, how to set up the heading sensor, the little hockey puck thing, the heading sensor, how to set up the heading sensor that I was talking about. Yeah, all of that is in that 86-page PDF. Yeah, it has all the advanced stuff. So you've got a 2-page quick guide for operating the remote. Here's the thing, guys. I'm out here fishing. All the fishing that I've been doing, I mean, really, the only buttons that I'm using are the on and off button, the speed buttons, the prop engage, disengage, the left and the right. I use the AutoPilot button there, the N, every now and then, and I use the spot lock. All right, so you got another button right here. This is a cruise control, and basically that works just like your car cruise control, okay? Your car, you hit your cruise control at 60 miles an hour and it stays at 60 miles an hour. Well, in this kayak, if you want to troll at say 2 miles an hour or 2.2 miles an hour, you hit cruise control and it moderates, it maintains that 2.2 mile an hour speed that you want to troll at. There he is. There we go. That's a good one. That's a big snapper right there. That's a big snapper. Big old snapper. Big snapper, dude. Get in here. All right. All right. Nice, man. Another keeper. Big old snapper, baby. Big old snapper. So I fish with live bait a lot. I got a Flow Troll bait bucket right here that I put my greenback shiners in. Right now on my remote control, I'm pushing it about 6.5, almost 2 miles an hour. I'm just pulling that right on along there. I show you guys that the drag of the bait bucket really doesn't affect the maneuverability of the kayak. I'm gonna turn here to the left. Still turn to the left. Let me turn it back here to the right. Turn it back here to the right. I'm gonna spot lock it. Just show you this. Old Town Kayaks, they've got a nice wide area right here. Bait bucket fits perfect right there. It's just excellent for reaching in, grabbing your bait. You can just knock your bait bucket right back off of there. I got nothing bad to say about this kayak. You know, every vessel has some little irritation thing, right? Whatever it is that irritates me about this kayak is not so important that it outweighs the 100 things that are positive, right? Yeah, this kayak is an amazing fishing vessel. It's a fish catching machine. Spot lock technology is definitely a game changer. I give it a 10 out of 10. I definitely do. You know what? Yeah. So what? The front end is a little bit heavy. Well, it's got a 28-pound electric trolling motor in the front and a 5-pound battery for the fish finder. I'm sitting on a 50-pound lead acid battery. Of course it's going to be heavy. Listen, it's just the way the Kayak is. That's the reality of it. It's a fish catching machine. 10 out of 10 for me, you guys. Thumbs up or appreciate it. I hope this has helped you. Click on the link in the description. Head over to Old Town. Check out all the kayaks they have to offer. You'll find one that fits in your budget. Get out there and go fishing, man. Life is fun. Live it. See ya.